Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So today we've got a fascinating set of sources all looking at foods linked to anti-aging. It's a topic that definitely gets people interested.
It really does. And what's useful about these sources is they go beyond just listing foods. They actually dig into why the science behind the potential benefits.
Exactly. That's our mission for this deep dive. Unpack the specific foods mentioned, sure, but really pull out the core science. We want to understand how these foods might actually support those age-related processes.
Right. Moving past the hype and getting to the biological mechanisms, things like, oxidation, inflammation, how these foods might work at a cellular level.
Yeah, the sources touch on quite a range, from skin to brain health, even overall cellular stuff. It seems like there's some really interesting science involved.
Definitely. So shall we dive in?
Let's do it. Okay, let's unpack this list from the sources, food by food, and see what the science actually tells us.
Sounds good.
First up, the classic blueberries. What do the sources say is the key anti-aging component here?
Well, they point squarely at anthocyanins. These are really potent antioxidants found in blueberries.
Anthocyanins. Okay. We hear antioxidant a lot. What are they actually doing? How do they work?
So you have these things called free radicals in your body, unstable molecules that can damage cells. It's called oxidative stress. Think of it like biological rust.
Okay.
Anthocyanins basically step in and neutralize those free radicals. They help reduce that damage.
Right, reducing oxidative stress. And why is that so important for aging, according to what we've read?
It's linked to a few key areas. The sources mention preventing brain aging, potentially helping with memory, and also maintaining skin elasticity because it protects those skin cells too. It's pretty foundational cellular protection.
Interesting how one compound has effects across different systems. Okay, moving from blue to red, tomatoes. What's the star player there?
It would be lycopene, another really strong antioxidant.
Lycopene. Is it doing the same sort of thing as the anthocyanins, or does it have a more specific target?
It's also an antioxidant, but the sources specifically highlight its role in protecting the skin against UV damage.
From the sun?
Yeah, exactly, helping buffer some of that radiation damage from the inside. And it's also linked to reducing cardiovascular disease risk.
Protecting skin from UV internally? That sounds pretty significant. What effects did the sources list?
Things like promoting healthier-looking skin, maybe helping prevent spots and wrinkles, and like I said, that contribution to lowering heart disease risk. So again, internal and external benefits.
Makes sense. Okay, next on the list are nuts, almonds, and walnuts got specific mentions. Very common health food.
They are. And the sources focus on their high levels of vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids.
Vitamin E and omega-3s, what's the anti-aging connection there?
Well, a big part is suppressing chronic inflammation. Low-grade ongoing inflammation is seen as a driver for a lot of age-related issues.
All right, that hidden inflammation.
Exactly. And the sources also mention research referencing places like Harvard Public Health that suggests nuts have skin moisturizing benefits too.
So, fighting inflammation and helping skin moisture. The effects listed wrinkle prevention, lower heart disease risk, they line up then. Targeting inflammation and getting those healthy fats seems key.
Absolutely. Hitting those underlying processes.
Okay, let's talk green tea. It's popular worldwide. What specific anti-aging angle did the sources bring up?
Green tea is packed with compounds called catechins. One in particular gets a lot of attention. Epiglycatechin gallate, EGCG.
EGCG. Sounds technical. How does it work, scientifically speaking?
Similar to some of the others, actually. The sources say it directly suppresses both oxidative stress and inflammation.
Both.
Yeah, hitting both of those pathways, which the sources call out as, fundamental drivers of the aging process.
So by targeting those core issues, what effects are reported for green tea?
You see things like significant anti-inflammatory benefits, even a mention of a skin whitening effect, and helping to maintain cognitive function as well.
Interesting. Skin, inflammation, brain, another multitasker.
Seems to be a pattern.
All right, let's head to the water. Salmon and other fatty fish are next. We always hear about omega-3s here.
And for good reason. They are loaded with specific omega-3s like EPA and DHA.
EPA and DHA, how do those help with slowing down aging processes?
The sources really emphasize their role in improving the skin's barrier function. That's key for locking in moisture and keeping irritants out.
Ah, the skin barrier. Okay.
And also for protecting brain nerves. Omega-3s are crucial structural components of brain cells.
Protecting the brain cells and the skin barrier. That leads directly to the effects mentioned, like better skin moisture and helping prevent brain aging.
Exactly. Those fats are literally part of the structure and function, especially in the skin and brain.
Now here's one many will be happy about. dark chocolate, but specifically 70% cacao or higher. What's the science putting this on an anti-aging list?
It comes down to flavanols. These are a type of polyphenol found in cocoa beans.
Flavanols. And how do they fit into the anti-aging picture?
Well, the research mentioned in the sources suggests they can improve vascular function, basically helping blood vessels relax and work better, which means better blood flow.
Better blood flow. Okay.
And they're also noted for helping protect the skin against UV damage, another internal shield potentially.
So circulation and skin protection. The sources link this to effects like improved blood flow, contributing to beautiful skin, and helping prevent heart disease. It's nice when something enjoyable has some science behind it.
Definitely. Though the in moderation point is probably key there.
Absolutely. Okay, maybe less universally loved than chocolate, but broccoli, a nutritional giant. What's its anti-aging secret weapon?
According to the sources, it's a compound called sulforaphane.
Sulforaphane. That one's maybe less well-known. What does the science say it does regarding aging?
Sulforaphane is quite interesting. The sources say it helps activate detoxification enzymes. Think of them as your body's natural cleanup crew.
Detox enzymes, right?
It helps get rid of harmful stuff. It's also credited with helping prevent DNA damage, which is obviously fundamental to cellular aging. And surprise, surprise, it has strong anti-inflammatory effects too.
Wow. Activating detox, protecting DNA, and anti-inflammatory. That sounds like it works on a really deep level. What effects are linked to it?
Boosting immunity and suppressing cellular aging are the main ones highlighted, really targeting those core cellular health processes.
Makes sense. Okay, avocado. Super popular these days. Rich, creamy. What's the anti-aging science?
Avocados are packed with oleic acid that's a healthy monounsaturated fat, and they're also a good source of vitamin E.
Oleic acid and vitamin E, how do they contribute?
Well, the oleic acid helps keep cell membranes flexible and healthy. You need that for cells to function properly. And vitamin E, like we saw with nuts, is an antioxidant, fighting that oxidative stress.
Healthy cell membranes, less oxidative stress. So the effects listed are maintaining skin firmness and elasticity and supporting brain function. Another one hitting both skin and brain.
It's a common theme, isn't it? What benefits the brain often benefits the skin, and vice versa. Seems connected.
It does. Okay, red wine in moderation. Makes the list. Always a conversation starter. What's the specific compound here?
The key one highlighted is resveratrol. It's another type of polyphenol.
Resveratrol. I feel like I've heard that name linked to longevity research before.
Yeah.
What did the sources say it actually does?
They report it's associated with extending cell lifespan, maybe influencing some longevity pathways. It also has those anti-inflammatory effects we keep seeing. But this is really where the sources hammer home the in moderation point. Too much alcohol completely negates and actually harms more than any potential benefit.
Crucial point. So consumed appropriately, what are the reported effects?
Things like prevention of arteriosclerosis, the hardening of arteries, and suppressing skin aging. So vascular health and skin again.
Right. Okay, last on the list. Fermented foods. Things like natto, kimchi, yogurt. This feels like a different mechanism. What's the science?
Yeah, this is about the gut. These foods are sources of beneficial bacteria probiotics, and sometimes the food that feeds them prebiotics. They help regulate your gut flora balance.
Gut flora, the microbiome. How does gut health connect to anti-aging? It feels a bit less direct than antioxidants.
It's surprisingly interconnected. The sources emphasize that a balanced gut influences your immune system, your skin condition, even your mental state.
Really?
Yeah, they mentioned the gut-brain-skin axes. Basically, these systems all talk to each other. An unhealthy gut can drive systemic inflammation throughout the body, which, as we know, accelerates aging.
So it's another route to tackling inflammation, plus these direct links to skin and immunity via the gut. What effects did they list?
Prevention of rough skin, boosting immunity, and just generally improved bowel function, reflecting better gut health. It shows how internal gut balance reflects externally.
Okay, so that's the list. Blueberries, tomatoes, nuts, green tea, salmon, dark chocolate, broccoli, avocado, red wine in moderation, and fermented foods. Phew. Looking at them all together, what's the big picture takeaway?
Well, the sources do a good job of synthesizing it. They show these common threads running through the list. The core principles these foods support seem to be antioxidation, anti-inflammation, and improving the gut environment.
Right, so it's not just a random collection of healthy foods. They're chosen because they target these specific biological processes linked to aging.
Exactly. And the main conclusion from the sources is that focusing on these principles through what you eat can genuinely help maintain youthfulness from the inside out. They even hint there's more to explore, like specific nutrient combinations or meal plans built around these ideas.
So this deep dive gives you, the listener, that clear list, yes, but maybe more importantly, the scientific why behind them. Understanding these mechanisms, fighting oxidation, reducing inflammation, supporting your gut, that's what empowers you to make informed choices.
Yeah, it shifts the focus from just eating a specific superfood to understanding the processes you want to support your body.
Which leads to a really interesting final thought provoked by the sources. We've looked at these 10 specific foods and how they target these key anti-aging mechanisms. But if antioxidation, anti-inflammation, and gut health are the real pillars, how does focusing only on these 10 fit into a truly healthy, sustainable lifestyle? Could consistently supporting these crucial biological processes with a much wider variety of foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins that also possess these properties be even more powerful? It raises that bigger question. Should we move beyond just listing individual anti-aging foods and focus more on adopting overall dietary patterns that continuously nurture these foundational biological processes for long-term health and vitality? Something to think about.